Hello Blizzard fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Green and Haste on Vaani Research Station. Now Green contacted me through teamliquid.net yesterday and said, I heard you cast replays of players when they get into Masters. And I said, yeah, send it over, and so he sent it over, and here we go. In the bottom of Vaani Research Station, we have the red Protoss player Green, or Green Game. He introduced himself as Green, so we're going to call him Green from now on. And in the top of Vaani Research Station, we have the enemy, Haste, from the clan 1SA. Pretty fancy logo here, good transparency. Good use of black space, and I really like that. So, we have a good luck, have fun coming down. Both players are very well mannered, and considering how close to Masters Green is at this point, I assume he's feeling really nervous. But we'll see what happens. So we've got a gateway going down, we have gas coming down, barracks coming up, refinery coming up. Pretty standard stuff right now to see what happens after the refinery and the barracks get finished, respectively. And a cybernetics core, obviously. And what do we have here? A factory. Okay, so it looks like we're going to see some marine defense here from Haste. Probably going into a Widow Mine drop of some kind of 1-1-1 build, most likely, based on what we see here. We do have 3 workers on gas, and we're not actually taking an expansion yet. It is very dangerous in PvT to take your expansion this quickly. One of my buddies, Walnut, over at SCV Rush, told me that as Protoss, you really don't want to take, as the Stargate goes down, you don't want to take your second or your third until after the Terran player takes theirs. Just because it can be pretty scary to hold that off if you're one base up on the Terran player and they used all that money towards actual attacking units. So we're going to see probably some conservative stuff here from Green. Although, again, we do have the Stargate. It's not exactly hidden. I believe the Terran player did see that. Oh, no, he didn't see it. Okay, so that is hidden. Yeah, there's the 1-1-1 build. We do have Widow Mines coming out. We have the Starport coming up as well. We're going to see a Widow Mine drop into the main here. We're going to see a Phoenix trying to stop this from happening. Okay, interesting play. So the Phoenix comes out. And the Phoenix is going to be here along with the Mothership Core and the Stalker to try to prevent this from happening. Widow Mine on the ground, going to get picked up, I have to assume, by this. Yeah, the medevac picks it up, brings it on in, and hey, Green feels comfortable enough to take that expansion. At the same time, the Terran player is doing it. So Marine comes in to try to basically make sure that everybody's attention is elsewhere. Photon overcharge going down there, dropping Marines. Let me slow it down here, sorry about that. Dropping Marines here, Widow Mines burrowed here, and interesting play. The Widow Mines are kind of keeping these guys alive. Medevac keeping, okay, Phoenix pick up all the Marines. Looks like every single one of them are going to die, and looks like the medevac is taking a lot of shots as well. Another shot from the Photon overcharge, got to be very careful with that. Phoenix chased it down and kill it. Okay, so well defended there by Green. He was ready, he had the Phoenix. He said, no, you're not getting any Widow Mine drops into my house. Get the heck out of here. The Widow Mines here are very annoying along with that single Marine, but I assume we're going to get detection here shortly. Yeah, the Robo facility is actually making an observer. The Phoenix coming along here, picking stuff up, taking out Marines, but actually one shot did get off on the Widow Mine, taking down a single Phoenix. The Marine trying to come in, do some harassment, but no, there's really didn't do anything at all, not even any armor damage at all to that Stalker. So we have a single Widow Mine here, but gonna get cleaned up here shortly. Don't get too close there, Green. Oh, got a little bit too close. The Stalker actually dies. Unfortunately for him, got a little bit too close to the flame there, and the Widow Mine took it out. It is one shot from a Widow Mine to take out a Stalker, so be careful of that, Protoss. But if the Stalker can see the Widow Mine, it can outrange it and take it down just like this. So basically sniping it down as long as the Observer can see it. Don't get out of range, Observer. Okay, good. Just barely in range. Another Widow Mine actually in the mineral line here at the natural does take out a probe. This probe kind of hanging out. It looks like you should get back to work there, probe. Put it on a pylon instead. Doesn't want to get minerals right away, but now is transferring some workers over. Is Green, and it looks like Haste is kind of just defending up right here. We have Marines, we have a Marauder. Are we researching anything? Yes, we are getting Stim, we are getting more Widow Mines, and this expansion is up and running. It is 62 to 47 supply. The Terran player is up on the Protoss, and we are throwing down Robo-Bays, a Robo-Bay, as well as more gateways. I assume that's going to be Colossus, maybe Immortals, depending on what we decide to see from green. We are actually not taking the gas at the second base here, which you'd have to expect to see if we're going heavy gas units, which we are with that Robo-Bay. So, yeah, that is a Robotics Bay coming in. We have 2 forges for those upgrades, another pylon coming out as well. Both players just really content to kind of sit back after that early harassment with that attempted Widowmine drop that pretty much failed. I mean, I think we got a Stalker, a Phoenix, and maybe a Probe in that attack from Haste. We'll have to see what he decides to do. The answer is going to be... Can we speed this up a little bit? No, this is normal speed. It feels a little slow for some reason, but anyway, more and more barracks being added on. Looks like we might actually try to take a third base here fairly soon, I'd have to assume, from the Terran player, but actually he's not making a command center, so maybe never mind. The Phoenix kind of patrolling around. They're just looking for drops. I think that's their entire goal. They don't want to fly into the Terran base because he knows there are missile turrets, there are Widow Mines, there are Marines, a lot of things not healthy for Phoenix at all, which is something that Walnut, again, did talk about, that Phoenix are good. They do go in and do a good job against the Medivacs, and can be pretty fantastic in certain battles. And there we go, trying to harass those, but no, there are a lot of Marines on the ground. There are the Widow Mines, but good scouting there from green, recognizing that Haste is actually pushing out with a force. +1 attack is just about to finish, as well as combat shield and the concussive shells for the Marauders. We'll have to see what they decide to do with those there. Observer kind of hanging out in front, seeing what's going on as well. We do have a single Colossus out. Okay, Colossus. We have Zealots. We have a single Sentry. Boy, I don't know. This is going to be tough to hold off. We pretty much need this Mothership Core to throw down a Photon Overcharge if we're going to survive this attack. It looks like we're splitting up the forces here. Haste sending back a medevac full of units. What is in here? Widow Mines going home. I don't know. It looks like, oh no, the Phoenix might catch it in transit. Can we kill it before it gets all the way home? And yes, snipes it down, doesn't lose a single Phoenix. Huge pickup there from our friend Green. Haste not quite sure what to do, just kind of hanging out here in front of the base. The Phoenix swinging around the right side, taking a safe route home. And the longer Haste waits here, I mean, he is getting reinforcements, obviously. We do have Vikings now, which do very well against Phoenix, but you're just letting the Colossus count get up at this point. So here we come, moving on in. We do have observers, and we're kind of scouting things out here. What am I not quite close enough to do much of anything? Taking out one of the observers, trying to get back inside desperately. And yes, does manage to get up the ramp, but actually one Colossus did get sniped down. Like I said, that is just really the danger of Colossus in this matchup, is that a stemmed forward Marauder Ball can take it out in 2 or 3 shots. Just so dangerous. We are making more Colossus though. We're getting those upgrades out of those forges, chrono boosting them as much as possible. Upgrades are so important versus Terran. It does not look good for green right now. I mean, there's a pretty big army out front. He's down 99 to 126 supply. It is 48 to 46 harvesters. He is up there, but again, it is 2 base to 2 base. The Phoenix coming in, trying to see what they can do. Do manage to pick up. What did he just lose there? Did they get a Widow Mine? I think they did. Well played on their part. Can we see? Oh, the Observer is sitting right here, right on top of all of these guys. Medevac's healing up everybody. The stim is wearing off. The combat drugs are doing their job. And just kind of a standoff at this point. We do have 2 Colossus, not making many more right now, just pretty much doing upgrades. Protoss has a lot of minerals and quite a bit of gas. And okay, using it for Zealot legs. Chrono boosting those upgrades again. Probably, I mean, another swath of Zealots would not be too bad in this situation. Zealots sitting up front, absorbing a lot of the hits from these Marines and these Marauders, while the Colossus in the back does a ton of damage. But actually, there is a pretty large Viking count on right now. If we look at the units tab, it is 5 Viking on the field. There are only 2 Colossus. There's 1 more on the way. But 5 Vikings can actually take down 1 Colossus pretty quickly. Probably want more than that, which is why we have actually more flying in from our Terran player. The third base is now being constructed right here at the natural third place to put a base by Haste. And Hellions kind of scouting around, and green game is kind of contained right now. I'm not quite sure what the intent is. We'll have to see what's going to happen, if he can actually break out of this contain or not. Just making more and more Colossus, waiting for those upgrades to finish. Does he have enough? He does have enough for a chrono boost. He probably wants to chrono these one more time just to get out those upgrades as fast as humanly possible. We are warping in Stalkers, it looks like. Yep. Also getting a Templar Archives. We need Storm if at all possible, but I think 2 base is a little bit too gas intensive I guess a 2-base Colossus Storm tech is a little bit too gas intensive for these players. Coming in, sniping down another Widow Mine without using a single unit. Good play by Game. Trying to come in, trying to sneak out, but no, a stemmed attack. Good reaction time there by Haste, cutting that off. Oh, Observer gets taken down. As soon as the Terran army can see it, it doesn't get sniped down by those Vikings. And what do we have to see on the Terran base here? Is it pretty much more of the same? Another starport, probably more and more Vikings and medevacs. Yep. This is a reactor to make more and more Widow Mines. Just pretty much more of the same here from the Terran player. Psystorm is being developed. I mean, I know you have the Protoss player contained here, Haste. You can feel good about that, but he's going to have Storm here in a minute. He's going to have +3/+3 attack and armor upgrades for his Colossus, which makes them that much more better. That much better, I suppose, as the Templar actually warp in here. Upgrading these would be pretty good. Green, why don't you get on that as soon as you possibly can? Make me look good. More and more Zealots coming in. It is now 163 to 176. Both players looking like they kind of want to get maxed out. Ooh, Observer gets taken down. Kind of a wasted Widow Mine shot, though. I think that missile turret had it taken care of. Widow Mine now has to wait for that countdown and the cooldown before it can attack again. And both players, again, in just a bit of a standoff. I mean, I'd like to see a bit of harassment maybe from Green, sending out those Phoenix, picking off things, picking up Hellions, doing what they can do. Hellion doing a good job, being very active, making sure no secret bases are being taken by the Protoss player. And here we go, moving on out. Let's zoom out for the big battle. Stalkers in front, Colossus in back. Amazing storms going down on the left side, but there's good concave from the Terran player as well. Another storm, not really dodged at all by Haste. The Colossus doing what they can, but they are being destroyed by this number of Vikings. The Zealots chasing everybody home, though. Phoenix coming in, trying to take down these Vikings as best they can, but again, the Vikings do a good job against them. The Stalkers are supporting, and they do clean up every single Viking. The Zealots are able to actually chase the army back on home. Those are really, really good storms by Green. Left side, right side, catching perfectly the clumps of those bio units from the Terran player. And finally, Green is able to take his third base. It is 136 to 98 supply in favor of the Protoss player. He is pushing. He says, all right, I have my Templar, I have my Stalkers, I have my Zealots, I have some Phoenix. Let's see what we can do. I'm not going to bring any more Colossus. I am making a Colossus, though. Where is it? It is being built back home, but either way, pushing up and canceling the missile turrets. Forcing a cancel on that static defense is a nice job. Good pickup there by Green. Observer moving in to see what he can see. Rather, I think robots, or rather, observers are robots, but throwing down desperation bunkers and missile turrets, trying to turtle up best he can is Haste. Which is good because Storm doesn't actually do anything to buildings. So if you get units inside these bunkers, but instead the Zealots moving on in before the bunkers are complete. It's a bit of a choke point though. The Zealots really can't attack there, so they move back. Good Storm does force the Terran army back there. The bio does move forward, stim forward, taking down the pylon. No, careful Templars, don't get too close there. Woo! They almost got taken out for no reason whatsoever. There is enough for another Storm, I think, though, here. Do we want to get a Storm down? I think if we get around the backside with the Zealots and prevent the retreat, a Storm would be amazing. Both players kind of dancing back and forth here, catching units. Oh, huge Storm! Catches a bunch of those Marines and Marauders right on the head. They are forced to retreat to safety behind those Widow Mines. The Protoss army not feeling very healthy either, getting head on back home. Yet it's still 123 to 108 supply. Not done much to saturate this third base. That'd be really, really good to do. There we go. Now moving over the probes. I guess he was waiting for the battle to be over like I was to actually check on that third base. But now we're chrono boosting out these upgrades. It looks like we did get the attack upgrade. The shield upgrade now coming as well. Armor, rather. No shield upgrades, though. Okay, and Haste actually feeling comfortable enough to take the gold base over here, floating over this command center that he built. Actually took it from his main, interestingly enough. There's actually gas remaining here, but he decided instead he wants the minerals income instead and drops the command center here, and he has 7 workers on the gold. Pretty darn good. We have a missile turret and a bunker coming up as well. Both players kind of, again, sitting back, playing very, very cautiously at this point. Again, Green is close to getting Masters. He wants to get there, but he doesn't want to throw this game away and have to play again in order to get there. So let's see what's going on back home. We are chrono boosting out another Colossus. So again, I wonder, what is the actual Viking count here? It is 4 Vikings, and are there any in production? No. it looks like Haste is not actually making any more Vikings, which could be a bit of a mistake, because the number of Colossus here is 2. There's another one in production here again. And again, these are +3 attack, soon to be +3 armor Colossus. They do take quite a bit to kill, even if you do have those Vikings. So I would actually, there we go, 4 more Vikings coming out now. I guess he heard me. They are coming out of these star ports. And actually, we have a Ghost Academy. Do we have any ghosts on the field? Yes, 6 ghosts. Okay, those EMPs could be major game changers. If you get the EMP down directly on top of things that have energy, like those Templars, like that Sentry, pretty much it takes out the shields as well. So everything that it hits on a Protoss unit is going to be fantastic. But it can actually render Templars very, very useless. Archons as well are mostly shields, so a good EMP makes them super squishy and easy to kill. So I actually haven't seen a lot of ghosts in my TVP broadcasts recently. I guess that's because a lot of the games don't get to the late game. It's pretty much kind of a mid-game push and then see who wins from there. So this game is at the 25-minute mark, which means both players are pretty much a tech up to whatever the heck they want, which means we have a lot of ghosts in this composition. Where are they? Did he bring any? Yeah, here are a couple of them. Oh man, a whole bunch. Ooh, throwing down an EMP and sniping. Taking out a bunch of units there. The Vikings flying in first, looking for those juicy Colossus, trying to kill him. Here comes the big push. And forcing every... Oh, big storms on all those ghosts. Oh, a bit of a miscontrol there by our Terran player. Did get the EMPs off, but did not do enough to take out all the energy on everything. And all of the ghosts actually died, but enough of these Marines and Marauders have survived. They are super scary. They have +2, +1. Good storms going down there. Pretty good splits there as well by Haste. Another storm takes out that whole group on the left side. The Colossus are still alive. That is huge. The Templar need to get out of their Templar. Back up. Okay, one gets turned into an Archon. 2 of them, rather, do emerge into an Archon. And if they can survive long enough, that'll be nice. But no, it looks like they're going to get killed before they can actually morph. A single attack, and they die. More Templar coming up. Huge storms going on the rest of these units. The Colossus being heroes in the back with 10 and 9 kills each. And they do manage to repel that attack. But again, Haste has this gold. Haste has another base over here on the left side. And Green doing okay repelling these attacks, but he just needs to find a way to get in there and end this game. It is 54-53. He is doing very, very well. Again, +3 attack now coming up for the Terran player. Super, super scary if you're Zerg or if you're Protoss. Even against Terran, 3 attack Terran with that 3 armor is just really tough to deal with. With those bio balls kind of hanging out. We have Green just sitting here, no big deal. More and more Templar coming up at the same time, warping in more and more Zealots. Again, Zealots are good against this composition. Single Marine with the combat shield, scooting on in, trying to scout things out, throws down the stim, says there a base over here? No, there's not a base over here. Marines come on to the gold. Is there a base here at the gold? No, there is not. Actually, I never noticed. They have little knives on the end of their guns, don't they? They do. How adorable. I'm going to kind of zoom back and forth and in and out. And, zoom in. Where is my left here? There it is. Alright, so let's zoom in. And left, right. Yeah, there's their combat shields. Just looking so adorable down there with their logo. And yeah, I can't believe I never noticed that before. They have little like bayonets on the end of their rifles. I guess Raynor has that in the campaign. It makes a lot of sense. But again, both players just kind of hanging out, throwing down forward command centers. I assume these are going to be planetary fortresses. This game is officially in the late game. When the Terran player is putting down that many planetary fortresses, you know you're in for a treat. Ghost Academy, I'd like to see some nukes. Maybe nukes would be fun, but unfortunately, no nukes are being created at this Ghost Academy. We are making more and more Vikings to counter the number of Colossus that are out. It is only 4. This might be a bit of an overcommit from the Vikings. That's something you want to watch out for as a Terran player, as you do definitely want to have the Vikings to deal with the Colossus. But if you have too many Vikings, then yeah, you took out like the 1 or 2 Colossus, but the big, huge Protoss army on the ground can now overwhelm your ground army because so much of your supply was devoted to those Vikings, and they're not great against ground attacks. They can land, they can attack from the ground, but they're super squishy. Their attacks don't do a whole lot. So we are taking this base. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. A 5th base coming down here from Green. Again, playing super careful. Doesn't want to lose this and lose the progression that he has made towards making it into the Masters level of the ladder. Doom drop coming down, though. Here come the medevacs. going straight for the natural. A lot of production in here. Actually, a lot of gates that aren't warp gates yet. A warp prism heading out with some Templar as well. Does get picked up. Almost, oh man, almost killed by those Vikings. Huge drop coming down, but photon overcharge and actually feedback on all those medevacs kills every single medevac. Zealots warping in as well to clean up the rest of the army. And that's it. Wow, what a defense on that drop. Another attack here, getting pinned down in the corner. Zealots, Archons, Colossus doing tons of work, destroying them. Dropping Vikings into this mineral liner, killing a lot of workers, but a huge storm going down on those Vikings, killing almost all of them. They're down to no health whatsoever, and I think these two Stalkers is enough to clean it up. The main army coming on up, though, the left side, and Haste calls the GG. Green is victorious, and he is promoted to Masters. Congratulations to him. And if you want to see your game cast on my channel, go ahead and send it over. I can't guarantee I will cast it, but at this point I don't have very many submissions. So hand it over and we'll see what we can do. But again, this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. If you liked what you heard and saw today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. And as always, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at /FalconPaladin. Until next time, you take care of yourself.